Get going. Move forward. Aim high. Plan a takeoff. Don't just sit on the runway and hope someone will come along and push the airplane. It simply won't happen. Change your attitude and gain some altitude. Believe me, you'll love it up here. As long as you are going to be thinking anyway, think big. Show me someone without an ego, and I'll show you a loser. When you are wronged repeatedly, the worst thing you can do is continue taking it fight back. What separates the winners from the losers is how a person reacts to each new twist of fate. It doesn't hurt to get more education. Sometimes your best investments are the ones you don't make. What's the point of having great knowledge and keeping them all to yourself? Anyone who thinks my story is anywhere near over is sadly mistaken. I try to learn from the past, but I plan for the future by focusing exclusively on the present. That's where the fun is. I've read hundreds of books about China over the decades. I know the Chinese. I've made a lot of money with the Chinese. I understand the Chinese mind. One of the problems when you become successful is that jealousy and envy inevitably follow. There are people, I categorize them as life's losers, who get their sense of accomplishment and achievement from trying to stop others. As far as I'm concerned, if they had any real ability they wouldn't be fighting me, they'd be doing something constructive themselves. Remember, there's no such thing as an unrealistic goal, just unrealistic time frames. I know words. I have the best words. You know, it really doesn't matter what, the media, right, as long as you've got a young and beautiful piece of ass. Don't get sidetracked. If you do get sidetracked, get back on track as soon as possible. Ultimately, sidetracking kills you. I've always felt that a lot of modern art is a con, and that the most successful painters are often better salesmen and promoters than they are artists. I discovered, for the first time but not the last, that politicians don't care too much what things cost. It's not their money. And if it can't be fun, what's the point? Good publicity is preferable to bad, but from a bottom-line perspective, bad publicity is sometimes better than no publicity at all. Controversy, in short, sells. Watch, listen, and learn. You can't know it all yourself. Anyone who thinks they do is destined for mediocrity. My style of deal-making is quite simple and straightforward. I aim very high, and then I just keep pushing to get what I'm after. Everything in life is luck. My people keep telling me I shouldn't write letters like this to critics. The way I see it, critics get to say what they want to about my work, so why shouldn't I be able to say what I want to about theirs? Success comes from failure, not from memorizing the right answers. I don't hire a lot of number crunchers, and I don't trust fancy marketing surveys. I do my own surveys and draw my own conclusions. There's an old German proverb to the effect that, fear makes the wolf bigger than he is, and that is true. Our country, our people, and our laws have to be our top priority. I like to think of the word focus as follow one course until successful. My motto is, always get even. When somebody screws you, screw them back in spades. Unite to win. Divide to conquer. The final key to the way I promote is bravado. I play to people's fantasies. People may not always think big themselves, but they can get very excited by those who do. That is why a little hyperbole never hurts. People want to believe that something is the biggest, the greatest, and the most spectacular. It's a blip, not a catastrophe. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to act effectively, in spite of fear. The point is that if you are a little different, or a little outrageous, or if you do things that are bold or controversial, the press is going to write about you. Hurricane will be tremendously big and tremendously wet. I like thinking big. I always have. To me it's very simple, if you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big. Most people think small, because most people are afraid of success, afraid of making decisions, afraid of winning. And that gives people like me a great advantage. My leverage, don't make deals without it. Enhance. When people are in a focused state, the words, I can't, I'll try, I'll do it tomorrow, and maybe, get forced out of their vocabularies. Contrary to what a lot of people think, I don't enjoy doing press. I've been asked the same questions a million times now, and I don't particularly like talking about my personal life. Because much more often than you'd think, sheer persistence is the difference between success and failure. Money was never a big motivation for me, except as a way to keep score. The real excitement is playing the game. The worst things in history have happened when people stop thinking for themselves and listen to other people and, even worse, start following other people. That's what gives rise to dictators. The most important thing in life is to love what you're doing, because that's the only way you'll ever be really good at it. A government big enough to give you everything you want is a government big enough to take from you everything you have. 1. President Gerald Ford. Partnerships must have loyalty and integrity at their core. Think big. You are going to be thinking anyway, so think big. Most people think small because they are afraid of success, afraid of making decisions, afraid of winning. Luck does not come around often. So when it does, be sure to take full advantage of it, even if it means working very hard. When luck is on your side, it is not the time to be modest or timid. It is the time to go for the biggest success you can possibly achieve. That is the true meaning of thinking big. Do not spend too much time planning or trying to anticipate and solve problems before they happen. That is just another kind of excuse for procrastination. Until you start, you won't know where the problems will occur. You won't have the experience to solve them. Instead, get into action, and solve the problems as they arise. Living your words, walking your talk, and talking your walk. Rules are meant to be broken. Which quotation do you like the most? Don't forget to subscribe.